Do you ever feel like we're getting completely desensitized towards things that otherwise would be like world-shaking events and major news that would be in the news cycle for weeks, if not months of time, and yet now it's only lasting on the news cycle for sometimes like a day or 2 or 3 days? We're being desensitized towards really crazy things happening all the time. Like the amount of news that happens in this day and age in like 2 days is the amount of news back like a bunch of years ago that would take like a month to happen. And what it does to people is it changes how they process information, and it changes how they think of events and what's going on. And the more and more information that we're forced to process in terms of like major events and things like that, the more it becomes in our minds subconsciously a commonplace thing to have these things happen. But it's not commonplace. Our minds just think it. They think eventually from this happening like, oh, this is normal. This is just how it is. And you might not think that kind of thought on a conscious level, but on a subconscious level, your mind processes it eventually like that because you're becoming desensitized towards the craziness that this world has right now, and the craziness that's in this world now, I should say. But it's not normal. It's not normal for it to be ramping up like this. And I personally think it's like a sign of the times of what's really going on behind the scenes in the spiritual world. As a Christian, I've found the farther people fall away from God as a society, the crazier stuff seems to get. The wheels start to fall off. Like when we really push off from God and we really push him away, the wheels in the society fall off. And we're experiencing that. And so everything gets crazier and crazier and crazier. But because we're becoming desensitized to it, we don't really consciously recognize like that it really is that nuts and crazy until you really think about it, until you sit down and you're like, oh yeah, this isn't normal. It's never really been like this ever. At least in this country, at least for a whole lot of years. And I think for a lot of people that don't have God in their lives, they probably are becoming very depressed over this because they don't think that there's any real way out. Because no matter what happens this November, no matter who wins, whether it's Trump or Harris, almost with certainty, there's going to be some kind of unrest in this country. I certainly hope it's minimal, like I really do. Because I just don't want things to really get out of hand. It could get crazy. If you have God, then you know that even if like evil really starts to get a really crazy strong foothold in this country and in the world, which the Bible says it eventually will, you know that God, that Christ, overcomes in the end. But I honestly think that we're getting really close to like the end times of things. Or the last days, I confuse the two. It's probably another story for another video, but I study this stuff and I really believe it in my heart that we're getting to that point. Again, I could be wrong. Just my thought, just my opinion. But I would recommend, as I've said before, it would really behoove you, if you haven't found Jesus Christ yet, or wonder if, or know if he's real or anything else, take a walk by yourself or sit quietly by yourself sometime soon and just speak to him. Even if you feel crazy or weird doing it, just do it. Just say, hey, are you real? Is this real? Is there more to this? Should I subscribe to what the world wants me to believe in, which is when we die, we just become worm food? Or is there something after? Please talk to me. These are evil times. And I don't know how anybody can't see that for what it is. We do need to be careful to not become overly desensitized and to recognize the fact that we're getting like that. And to not just accept this as, oh, this is normal, like this is fine. No. A whole lot of the stuff that's going on in this world in this day and age is not fine. It is not normal. It is not good. It's evil. And we really do need God in our lives to help to push back on that evil. So, take care.